Peace, starling, for an elder is among you.
Hello. How is it going, everyone? My name is Endeavorance. It is, well, now the dog is causing chaos. I couldn't even get out what day it was. Let's give the dog a treat so I can like talk to you before he destroys everything. He's already destroying everything. All right, come on, get out. He stands exactly where my foot pedal is. It's like he has chosen that the right place to stand to beg for a treat is precisely on top of my foot pedal that controls the stream. So he's like, you cannot control the stream until I get a treat. Let's give in to the terrorist demands. Didn't get the camera. That would have been tragic. Okay.
Peace, starlings, for an elder is among us.
There you go. There's a treat for the treat dog. He's a treat for the treat dog. How's it going, everybody? My name is Endeavorance. It is Wednesday, September 3rd. Hell yeah. And also a year. There's a year in there somewhere. Here's the thing. Yesterday, I woke up a little bit. I sort of woke up. I didn't fully wake up really at any moment. So I woke up I woke up at first at like 3 a.m. and that sucked, but I was awake, played some Fire Emblem, went back to sleep. You know how it goes. So then I woke up like an hour before the stream was supposed to start. There we go. There's the flop. I was waiting for that. I woke up about an hour before the stream was supposed to start, and I was like, okay, this could be possible. So I like sat there and pounded a bunch of coffee, and I was like, I gotta just wake up in the next hour. 30 minutes go by. I'm like tireder than I was before, and I was like, I can't do this. So decided to push the stream, and now we're doing that now. So that's exciting. That's where we are. You can see Flynn is also very excited, obviously. But there is one strange thing, I will say, which is that for some reason, my computer is not playing sound. I didn't realize that until I went live. So I hear nothing currently. And I'm going to do my best to do this stream as usual, because I feel like the only way I can actually fix that is if I like fully restart my computer. So we're just going to deal with, I hope you can hear things. Hopefully, okay, you all can hear the sound. Great. You all stole my speakers. You stole my audio waves. I want them back, please. Thank you. No ransom. We can bear you. Good. I'm glad that you can bear me, Rue the rubber ducky. All right, let me put me back in the camera, so to speak. Finders keepers. Not when it comes to my audio. I need that. How am I going to be able to like edit video? You're just gonna, next time that I do an episode of Stuff Keeps Happening, it's gonna be like a complete mess of audio, and it's just gonna be like, I don't know, I'm gonna record something and be like, I tried to listen to anything, but stuff didn't happen because there was no fucking audio. Let me fix the camera for the dog real quick. Okay. Just subtitles from here on out, no more audio. Do it, SKH lore. Yeah, so there is sort of some SKH lore now at this point. I've been doing those like little gag like comics in the episodes, which has been pretty fun, honestly. It's been pretty entertaining to like put those together. It helps break up the monotony of otherwise just like me talking at you. And I've been reusing stuff and making references to previous visual gags. I'm probably going to keep that going because that's just how I function, is everything needs to have lore. So it is what it is, but get used to having some recurring characters. Like we saw the judge returned and then got murdered by the Social Security Administration. So like it's dire out there. The fucking Social Security is going to come kill you. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? I'm still kind of settling in. Let's see who's here. Let's say hi to people. Hello to Coilians, Sleepless Seraphina, Prefix, Ada Scout, Fire Drops, Ice Cream Socialist, Weedy Potter, Nitro Nick, Rue the Rubber Ducky, Itty Bitty Pixels, Ollie, That's Just Ash, Lupus Musics, King of the Sea, Brawny, hello Brawny, Sir Skidmark, Fun Predictable, Cat of Supernova, Names, Your Everyday Weirdo, Jordally Poo Poo. Hey everybody. How's it going? And hello to Brawny. It's been a second. How you doing? I hope boat is floating. I hope it's still seaworthy. I hope it's buoyant. God, I wish I was buoyant. Imagine if we could just float forever. Like, I know that you can float for a bit, and I know that you can like float if you like put in the effort. But what if humans were just buoyant? Like, you could just sleep and like float in the water and be fine. That's what having lungs are for? No, but you have to like keep your lungs full. Like, if you are not actively putting in a little bit of effort, then you're gonna eventually sink. I'm saying whole ass buoyant, right? You jump into the water and you just kind of like, and now you're just floating on top, as if you. I'm talking about like as if you jumped into a pool on a floaty, right? And you just like pop back up. Because then instead of having to worry about ships, we could just like take a snooze and let the current carry us. There's no other complications with traveling large distances in the ocean aside from that. So this is a great business venture. Who wants to invest in buoyant humans with me? We're gonna waterbeds were a failure because they only got halfway there. Waterbeds were like, what if human sleeps on a bed full of water? I'm saying, what if human sleeps on water? It's the next level. What the fuck am I talking about right now? What am I even talking about right now? Weedy Potter, 17 months, says time to clock in at the Giving a Doggo a Treat Factory. Well, you did great. As you can tell. Look at the dog now. Like, he's doing well after having gotten that treat. So many multipliers up. What are we at? Times 15? Good lord. I do want to talk about the multiplier situation. So for those who are new to my stream, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, whenever you subscribe or redeem a dice roll, it rolls dice over my face, and that adds to the score at the bottom, which it's a number. The prize is the number gets bigger. There's not really a prize right now aside from the number gets really big. What I want to do, I had a couple of fun ideas last night. So what I want to do is add a few more ways to make that number go up even more, because like we all like big numbers, right? But only having one way to make number go up, which is like, you know, roll the dice or increase the multiplier. I want to get to like Balatro levels of number go up. So what I think I'm going to look into is another redeemable that does a multiplier to the number of dice that are rolled for subscribes and mass gifted subs. So right now, if you resubscribe at, you know, however many months, it will give you that many dice as a roll. So like if you resubscribe in 8 months, it gives you 8 dice to roll. So I want to add a multiplier so that gets multiplied, not the score, but the number of dice. So you resubscribe at 8 months with a multiplier of times 10. That's 80 dice, right? So I want to add more stuff like that, where it just gets like bigger and bigger. And then we're going to get, I think, multiply the multiplier. The other thing I wanted to add was a mult. Yeah, so a multiplier to the multiplier, as well as a dice multiplier, as well as maybe like a flat bonus or something. And then I was thinking about adding a thing where like when somebody follows, it adds like a temporary bonus to the next dice or something. I don't know. Just a whole bunch of different stuff. Joker cards, that could be really fun too. Yeah, like modifiers. Right? Like, what if you could, like a redeemable modifier, like for the next 10 minutes, whenever somebody rolls at least 10 dice, it rolls an additional die for everyone that chatted in the past 10 minutes. You know, like something like that. Like some kind of like fun, stackable, you know, redeemables. That could be fun. Dev likes it bigger. Look, when it comes to the booty, what can I say? I like y'all ever hear that Big Booty Bitches song? I would play it, but I have no audio, so I have no idea if it's going to be too loud or not. But just go to YouTube and search Big Booty Bitches song. But you want the original specifically, because there's an original and then like it got viral and they made like a more studio version. You want the original, which is like two dudes recording in a basement, one with like a Casio keyboard, and they just like press a button on it and it starts playing like a pre-recorded thing, and they just go hard, and it's so good. But yeah, if you ever need your day to be a little bit better, just search big booty bitches on YouTube. That's a general, like, just generally good advice. Generally good advice. Just search big booty bitches on the internet if you need your day to be a little better. Can we have a redeem that costs a lot, but it resets the number? That would be brutal. Like 100K to reset the number and multipliers. That would be so mean, but kind of funny. Ice Cream Socialist, you have the ball now. Yeah, the ball didn't go away. I want to re-add the like passing the ball around and stuff, but I'm not gonna. I haven't gotten to it yet. I was working on some stuff this morning to improve the stream setup. I'm working on a thing to make it so that I can like highlight a message and have it appear at the bottom of the screen to like focus. Like if I'm responding to somebody, right? I want to be able to like highlight their message. I was gonna have that ready today, but then I ran into some stupid bugs and didn't get it built. But the idea behind that, and this is annoying. Welcome to my complaining to you, my audience. Welcome to me complaining to you about streaming. So if you want to cross stream, which is a thing I would like to do because I have far more people following me on YouTube than Twitch. If you want to cross stream, there's just a bunch of weird rules about what you can and can't do with your stream. And most platforms don't want you to show chats from other platforms on your stream when streaming to them. So it's like if I wanted to cross stream to YouTube and Twitch, I would have to like, if I wanted to have a chat box, I would have to show the YouTube chat on YouTube stream and the Twitch chat on Twitch stream. When I want to just like mix the two. So what I think I'm going to try is maybe reworking the chat box to be like the notification box, not having live chat, not having every single live chat come to stream, and otherwise having an option for me to highlight what I'm responding to. So I can still give context about what I'm talking to or talking about, but I wouldn't be breaking rules? I don't know. I just don't want to get banned. So I have no idea. Nico style chat was that? I'm not familiar. Is it really a Twitch stream if it's not borked? Yeah, you're right. It's got to be fucking busted. Like completely busted. The issue is like I want to have chat on stream. I don't want to not have chat on stream. But also like how do you merge multiple chats that are isolated from different places and make it not feel isolating, you know? Every time I see a streamer mix YouTube and Twitch chat, is there a second part to that statement, or are you just saying people just do that? Nico.gif. That's right, I say gif. Oh, yeah, just like having it just like show all the stuff going across the stream. Yeah, I did consider having chats appear temporarily so that they're not like always showing. But that feels like it's just kind of skirting the line so that I don't get caught. But also, I kind of don't fully care. If I did get banned, now that I'm talking about it right now, now that I'm thinking through it while talking about it, congratulations, you're experiencing me not ever thinking about things until I'm actively talking about them. Congratulations, you're a rubber duck. If I did get banned from Twitch, that would almost be like a little freeing. Prefix says fuck Twitch for real. Yeah, I should just stop streaming on Twitch. Nah, I don't want to do that. But like if I did get banned from Twitch, I would be like, all right, that's a sign to not care about this anymore. Like I want to keep streaming on Twitch because streaming on YouTube is fucking weird. Like streaming on YouTube as a streamer is weird and obnoxious and strange. Like again, YouTube is just a giant pile of half-baked features barely taped together, and streaming on YouTube is no exception. So like I would like to keep streaming on Twitch and not have to only stream on YouTube. But if I did get banned from Twitch, like fuck it. The chat is 200% worse on YouTube. Yeah, like everything about YouTube's streaming system is just a little worse, right? But the difference is Twitch has, while it has a better platform, has a much worse, like, heavy hand. I feel like YouTube has a pretty good... YouTube is fucked and opaque, right? But YouTube isn't going to, like, ban you for weird, obscure reasons that, like, don't make any sense. That's not true. They do that. But Twitch is much worse about it, is what I'm getting at. Like, Twitch's policies are just, like, constantly changing, constantly just being weird. I feel like YouTube is too busy doing other things to give a shit about what people are streaming on it, whereas Twitch, that's all they care about. And it's so particular. There's just so much weird nuance and bullshit you have to adhere to if you want to grow and be supported on Twitch. Not supported by a community, supported by Twitch. If you want to show up on, like, the homepage of Twitch, you cannot be breaking any of their obscure rules, such as showing YouTube chat or something. Like, you have to adhere to their stuff if you want. You have to play their game to grow, and part of playing their game is not multi-streaming. So that's what I'm complaining about. August recap? Wait, what the fuck is this? Wait, what? What is this? Hold on. What the fuck is this? Your August recap, Endeavorance TV. Let's check out what you achieved together in August. Is this gonna dox me? Why does it say no signal? Excuse me. Excuse me. Hello? Why didn't that work? Whatever. I'm so mad right now. Everything is falling apart. My August recap is that fucking everything is falling apart. Is this gonna dox me? All right. I streamed for 8 hours and 53 minutes, which is frankly not a lot. But I'm pretty sure that's because I took a break. Yes, I did take a break in August. That's why it's not a lot. Top emotes: hype, Flynn hype, and Flynn. That makes sense. That tracks, actually. That does make sense. Chat sent in channel 2,797. I have no idea if that's a lot or not. But chat. That's one of the things. Apparently, if you want to show up on, like, the front page of Twitch, you have to have, like, people actively chatting. So I am supposed to engage or bait engagement from you. Hey, let's bait some engagement. If you want Flynn to get belly rub, then chat. You know? Why is that not working? What the fuck? Okay. Let's see. I streamed 4. Hello, Sneezy McGlassface. What's up? Total months subscribed. I guess I'm subscribed to myself. Top clips, 1. Y'all need to clip more. What are you doing? What are you doing? So is this a thing that just exists and I'm not aware of it? Like, why does this exist? Why does this recap thingy exist? I didn't. First I've heard of it. Cool. Neat. Let's give the dog a quick rub. Dog rub delivered. We did it. So your Twitch followers can weaponize your achievements. Can you all do me a favor and weaponize my achievements more? Thank you. If you could hold my achievements over my mortal enemies, that would be great. That'd be really, really, really good. So let's ride the roller coaster because there's a lot to talk about today. There's a lot to talk about today. No joke, those stats pages exist to get kids to drive engagement. What? What, like to try to make those stat pages look good, like comparatively or something? Hold on. I missed some chats. I want to see some more chats. I want to like follow up. Are there any Proscenium news / updates yet? Says former Future Frog. Yes, and I will get to that. Is water wet? I feel like that comes up once a stream. The is water wet question. I do get interested in the end of year recaps for everything I watched on Twitch throughout the year. So like that's fine. That's interesting. Yeah, the end of year stuff. I had no idea that there was like a stats screen to be worried about. I'm gonna go back to not worrying about it. Let's ride the roller coaster. Please keep your hands, feet, ears, eyes, and stats pages inside the vehicle at all times as we ride the roller coaster. Coco Village. Had to adjust a thing. Oh god, my feet are gone. That's your fault. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. That's on you. I don't know what to tell you. I warn you all every time not to put your hands, feet, ears, eyes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes outside the vehicle, and this is what happens when you don't listen to me. Literally using pages like that to start, or pages like stats to fight their favorite streamers. That's very strange. Oh. Dog's going. Father, help! Neat. When cam needed? Yeah, we got it fixed. We got it. No worried. No worries. So, let's start with the Proscenium stuff. God, it's so weird to not have any music. Let me see if it does. Are my headphones working? No. Okay, I have no idea. Unclear why my audio is still not working. Anyway, I'm glad that you all can hear me. So I'm going to talk first about Proscenium because that'll make me feel a little better because then we've got a lot of like bullshit to talk about. For those who don't know, just sort of like one uno mas. Proscenium is a game that I'm making. It is a tabletop role-playing game that I have been designing for quite some time now. And it is getting ever closer to being a thing. So I've recently opened up the option to join a playtest session. If you are a member of my Patreon, my Ko-Fi, or my YouTube memberships, you can submit an application to join in the playtests that I'm gonna be running. So doing a bunch of closed playtests for now, and then the next step after that is going to be like the public beta release of the rulebook and working on the world setting wiki stuff. So like it's getting pretty close to being a publicly available like beta testable game. It just won't have all of its world content available yet, so you'll kind of have to like feel it out yourself. That makes me a little nervous because the system and the world setting content is a big part of the system. It's like that's what provides all the skills and species and whatnot, which are pretty important to show how like the game gets balanced. So I'm gonna try to have a little bit available, but yeah. Isn't it sponsoring an event? With Proscenium? Yeah, so I was sponsoring an event with Proscenium. So I sponsored the Crit Awards, which is the creator recognition in tabletop RPGs. It's like a community-centric tabletop RPG creator award show, and Proscenium Proscenium was a sponsor for that. That has come and gone. The award show happened. You can find the recording on YouTube, maybe. Unclear. But yeah, that is past us now. So, yep. Anyway, where we're at is, yeah, I'm working on the app itself, like the app that you can use to play and learn how to play Proscenium. I'm really excited about it. There's some cool shit that I'm doing where the document, like the learn page itself, which has essentially just all of the rules on one page as like a single article, can be customized based on your experience level with tabletop role-playing games and what you want to do with this game. So do you want to be a player? Do you want to run a table? Are you familiar with TTRPGs? Have you never played a tabletop role-playing game before? All of those things will be like configurable, just like little buttons at the top of the screen that modify the page for you. So however you want to learn, however you prefer to learn, you want to learn everything at once. If you just want to learn it like just from the player's perspective and then just from the DM's perspective, you can do that. And that's part of the goal. All of this is being designed to be as accessible as possible. So like not like more than just making it accessible to users. So, you know, like low vision friendly, different methods of learning for different types of learning styles, stuff like that. I want to make sure that everyone can feel comfortable learning and playing this game. And so I'm putting a lot of effort into that. So it's been a little bit slow going. It's been a little bit, I definitely wax and wane on how much I'm able to focus and get done on Proscenium with everything else that's going on. But I remain very excited for all of this, and I can't wait for y'all to get a hand on that their rule book. So that's kind of where things are at, just actively in development and hopefully doing some of the playtests in the next couple of weeks. So, yep. Chats. Not Twitch subs, that's discrimination. Unfortunately, I just don't have the tooling to make that work for Twitch subs. That would be so chaotic because Twitch subs are all over the place. We won't break it too much. I don't believe you. I don't even remotely believe you. Oh, dog can, not desktop can. I want a stream layout that looks like yahoo.jp. Oh, that would be really good. I want a stream layout that looks like Craigslist. Need a beach ball that bounces around the screen when the ball is thrown, preferably an obnoxious 3D model. That's not a bad idea. I could have the ball icon like bounce or something when it's available. I do. Sleepless Serafina says, "Is it the next person who chats is the one that catches the ball?" Yes. When somebody tosses the ball, whoever chats next gets it. I'm gonna add more stuff to do with the ball later on. But Beast666, hello, welcome in. Says, "OMG, I finally get to say hi." Hi. Hey, time for a drink. Hi back to you. And yes, I will hydrate. Players break games because they care, not even memeing. Yeah, I mean, that's really cool. I like when people break games because that does show that they are engaging with it as deeply as they can. That's what speedrunning is, right? Like, people who speedrun are destroying games, essentially. Like, per what the developer intended, like the experience that the developer was trying to design for. The goal of speedrunning is to say, fuck all of that. I'm gonna find the quote-unquote right way to make this go as quickly as possible. And I can dig it. It's interesting to see people push a system to its limits. I do very much like that. I love your videos. I mean, they're stressful, you know, with the stuff that keeps happening. Yeah, it's painful. It's painful because I want to produce content that makes people happy. I accidentally did content that's news. Like, that was an accident. Stuff Keeps Happening was not intentional. I didn't intend to be a newsboy. It's still not how I see myself. Like, I still don't see myself as a newsboy, and I still don't refer to myself as a journalist. I just talk about shit, and that's where we are now. And now, years later, here I am doing a weekly newsletter about like global current events. So, oh god damn it. I'm assuming y'all can't hear that. No, yeah, it's getting. So I live. This is a thing that I shouldn't say because I've not said where I live. But I'm gonna say I live within fighter jet flyover distance of Washington, D.C. and they just did a fighter jet flyover. The entire time that I was just making that face was because a literal fighter jet just flew over my goddamn house. And I couldn't hear anything else. They did an arbitrary flyover today over the White House, presumably because it was like randomly scheduled at the same time as when there's like a Epstein hearing going on. And like, it's the dumbest. They're like, oh, people are going to be paying attention to the Epstein hearing? Cool. Let's do a flyover of fighter jets over the White House because reasons. Ugh. So the entire continental US? Yeah, pretty much. The fighter jets can really get anywhere. I live like next to a hospital with a helipad, or at least like on the route of a hospital with a helipad, and within like fighter jet distance. So I'm constantly having bullshit flying over my house, and I'm really tired of it. I want to move to live in the middle of the underside of a mountain and never hear anything again. Wawa land? Yeah, I would generally say that I live in the Wawa province of the United States of America. Dev is just a game nerd that noticed that things were happening and accidentally became a news aggregator, says Weedy Potter. You're not wrong, though. Like, I am a big dweeb. Like I'm a software developer and video game boy and video game developer and dog haver, as you can tell. Flynn's also very concerned about the fighter jets, it seems. And I literally started Stuff Keeps Happening originally as a blog called What's Going On? Like, sort of like a what's going on, more like a statement. And I just wanted a place to like talk about shit because I was so sick of just seeing all this dumb bullshit and not having a place to like rant about it. So I started doing that. And then that became Stuff Keeps Happening. And now we're here. It's fine. I like being able to do this. I like being able to take this information and like break it down for people. And very obviously there are a lot of people who find value in it. And that's really, really cool. I desperately want to do other things. Like I am not like upset about doing Stuff Keeps Happening. I want to do more than just that, right? Like I want to produce more than that. And like I'm doing that with streaming and like building Proscenium. But what I really want to start doing is like making fucking like video essay style stuff. Not necessarily super, super, super long form. I think I would lose my mind trying to edit stuff like that or just write stuff like that. But 20 to 30 minute videos of just random bullshit. Just things that aren't going to just deliver existential dread directly into your heart. Which I'm never trying to do. I'm always trying to be sure that anything I'm telling you about is not being portrayed as like, you're about to die, feel anxiety, and keep watching everything I have to say because if you look away, that's bad. Like, I never want to give off that air. I always want to give off like, a sense of here's what's going on, here's why it matters, here's some context, here's how I feel about it. But I really, really, really want to like do anything else besides this. Like I want to produce things. I started I had an idea for a video making a case for why a side character in an old franchise was better than people gave them credit for. And it's like, I should just make that video. I should just do that. But the problem is like finding the time and finding the energy and getting everything done and not forsaking the rest of my content schedule. So one thing at a time, I'll get there eventually. And frankly, once I get past the like big front load of work that Proscenium is right now, then I'll have more time to do other stuff. But the reality of it is like, as long as I'm building Proscenium, I'm essentially maxed out on what I'm doing right now and can't do much more, just because that's such a gargantuan thing to build. I live near Milwaukee International, which is also a refueling wing for the Air Force. I hate it when they would do a flyover, says KTWB1. Katwibi. Yeah, no, I've been woken up at like 2 a.m. because of fucking fighter jets. Can we not, like, be a military state? I need to talk about that at some point. Beast666 says, I'm in Australia, 1:30 a.m. Well, you should know that whenever I post my stream go live notification, I always include New Zealand's time zone. I know it's not Australia, but at least it's close. Replaying Hollow Knight before Silksong? Bold of you to assume that I've beaten Hollow Knight. super bold of you. I did try Hollow Knight. I did try Hollow Knight for a while. I got overwhelmed because I'm not good at Metroidvanias. The second episode that's going to go up from Minecraft Sisyphus Edition, which is going to be next Wednesday, will show very strongly why I'm bad at Metroidvanias. I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this a little bit. I get lost in a circular tunnel for about half the episode. Like, I went into a mine shaft, got in essentially a square of hallways, and couldn't find my way back out for like a solid 20 minutes. So if you're gonna tell me that I need to now like navigate a maze-like map in which I'll be backtracking and re-backtracking and remembering where things are and like spatially navigating my way towards progress, it's just not gonna happen. I think the only Metroidvania game that I've ever like latched onto is Cave Story. And Cave Story is one of my favorite games of all time. But Cave Story is also very much not a Metroidvania. Like, it kind of plays like one, but it's far more linear. It's very much more like a staged platformer with guns, rather than giant open world explorer. Anyway, really excited for people who are excited about Silksong, but this has been one of those things, like Silksong and GTA 6 are two things I just don't care about. And that's fine. I'm really excited for people who are excited about Silksong and GTA 6 whenever that comes out. But these are just two franchises that people go fucking bazonkers for that I am just completely detached from. And that's not hating on it. It's just not a thing for me. So I'm so hyped. I hope you guys love it. I hope it's everything that you've been wanting it to be. I haven't done it. I haven't played Hollow Knight all the way through. I'd probably put in like 10, 15 hours before I gave up. My dog is cute. I agree. Gripping Garden says, inspired by your Minecraft goals and did hardcore for a couple hours this weekend. Super stress fun. Well, thank you. Yeah, hope you had a good time. It's a little stressful, but just don't worry about it. Just don't die. Catching up on chat. I love that my friends are excited, says Mo. Yeah, totally, absolutely. And like, I should watch some stuff about it so I understand like why people love this game so much. I know it's just like a really good Metroidvania Souls-like, which that's all you really need to be. Like, you don't need to be anything unique if you're just really fucking good at what you're doing. Oh, is this a don't give a shit about GTA safe space, says Aubrey A6? Yeah, go for it. I mean, like, I just don't care. I'm so fucking basic. I'm more into fantasy than sci-fi and Western than modern with guns. So, like, between Fallout and Elder Scrolls, I'm gonna take Elder Scrolls. Between GTA and Red Dead, I'm gonna take Red Dead. I'm just so boring. I just want fantasy. I don't find as much excitement in games about modern times. I live in modern times. I'm trying to get away from the modern times. If you're gonna give me guns, that's fine, but also give me magic. That's why I like Destiny so much. Like, Destiny is a sci-fi game, arguably, but it's space magic. It's a sci-fi aesthetic, but all of the vibes are like magic medieval shit. Like, there's swords, and the weapons are named things like lances and whatnot. Like, they're named after weaponry. Thoughts on Outer Worlds 2? Another one that I really haven't touched much. I played a bit of Outer Worlds. I'm more of an Outer Wilds guy, which I know has nothing to do with Outer Worlds, but the two kind of came out around the same time as each other, and I played them both, and I played Outer Worlds 1 for like 20 minutes and then Outer Wilds for all the way through. And it became like one of my favorite games ever made. I truly believe that Outer Wilds is the best designed video game ever made. And that's another video essay I should make, but it is genuinely one of the best design games ever made, if not the best design game ever made. That's not boring. That's just what you prefer. I mean, yeah, but I feel like it's like the base position, you know. Ollie says, I forgot, what was that creepy card deck game you played last year? I was obsessed with that one. Inscription. That was Inscription. That was a fun one. Destiny was cool, but now it's too much, says Beast. I stopped playing Destiny after Final Shape, and I've been looking at the new stuff that's coming out for it, and I'm like, I just can't. I just don't see myself getting back into this right now. I love that game. I love that world. I love the creative minds that have not been fired from that studio. But I just can't at this point. Simgaro says Destiny, I'm going to 4,000 hours on that. I don't even want to check my play hours. I don't want... After I sunk, I think I reached like 5,000, 6,000 maybe hours in Dota 2. Like between Dota 1 and Dota 2, easily, probably close to 10,000 at that point. I can't do that to myself psychologically with another game. Like I can't go and look at that number. Because I'm immediately going to go and think about how many days of my life have been spent fucking running Vanguard missions, you know? I can't do that to myself. Oh my god. Cuisinart says, the only thing bad about Outer Wilds is that you only get to play it once. That's true. If you have not played Outer Wilds, and you have, like, relatively decent sort of, like, mechanical controller skills, it does take a little bit of effort. You have to like pilot a ship in 3D space, which takes a bit of effort. But if you're good at using a controller to play video games and you haven't played Outer Wilds, go do that. It's the tiniest bit creepy, but it's not trying to be scary. Except for apparently the DLC is. I actually haven't played the DLC, but the base game is it's a little bit creepy, but it's not super creepy, and it is so intensely good. Here are a couple examples of like why I say it's like one of the best design games ever. It's a game about going between a bunch of different planets. You're in, I'm gonna try to not spoil it, but like there's a solar system that the game takes place in, and you can go to every planet in this solar system, and it's real time. So the planets are all moving. It's not real time. It's like, in-game real time. But there's essentially like a 20-ish minute cycle where you're exploring these planets, and they go on a pre-scripted like route and events on different planets that all happen at the same intervals within the cycle, and then you restart the cycle and keep doing it over and over again. But that means that you might get to a planet early in one run, find something interesting that you couldn't have otherwise found if you got there later, because the whole everything has changed, and now you know something that's like, oh wait, I saw that thing over there at this time. Now I kind of want to go check out what's over here at that time. And you like build up this big web of information, and the game helps you manage it. You have a thing to reference of all of the information that you've learned, of everything that's important to learn. And it literally will lay it out like a conspiracy theory web. It'll tell you, like, in this location, you learned these things, and here's the best part. It will tell you if there's nothing more to learn from something, and it doesn't lie to you. So if you go to a place and you discover everything worth caring about there that pertains to the story, the game will tell you you're good. You're set. You do not need to, like, there's nothing else to learn from there. And you can feel comfortable with that. And that they keep that trust with you the whole way. So if there's an area that looks boring, there's nothing worth going to there. Like there's not a hidden secret there. If it looks boring, it's because it's boring. If it doesn't look boring, it's because it's interesting. So you're navigating this whole ass solar system and trying to find points of interest, and they help you with the design of the world. And they stick to that. They never pull any bullshit where it's like some obscure thing off in the corner and there's a secret there that you had to go find this whole time. No, it's just go to what seems interesting, follow the information, put it all together in whatever order you want to, and solve the mystery, like finish the game. The problem is once you've done that, you know everything. And like the game, it's the kind of thing where the game is like theoretically beatable on like the first cycle or whatever. So it's like you kind of ruin it for yourself. But it's really, really good. It's a game that you can trust the developers to have a consistent design philosophy, and the writing is just incredible. It's a non-linear story that is told from like finding old records and shit, and the records all come together and like click in your head to make you realize like, holy shit, like I just uncovered the like an entire new section of this story by like discovering a single sentence that makes another thing that I discovered previously make way more sense, and now I know what to go do next. And it's just like these moments happen so frequently while you're playing this game. Just discovering something mundane that completely unblocks your next move. It's so cool. It's such a good game. Don't get me talking about Outer Wilds. Who did this? Why would you do that? That's all that happens for a while after that. Have you ever played Hand of Fate? I've never heard of it. Never heard of Hand of Fate. Former Future Frog says, I think I played D2 for a summer, upwards of 8 hours a day. That's about accurate. That's about accurate. When we say D2, do you mean Destiny 2 or Dota 2, Diablo 2? There's a lot of D2s out there. Mo says, I'm about to play Spiritfarer again, but a friend who's never played it. Sorry, I'm about to play Spiritfarer again, but with a friend who's never played it and is going through some cancer treatments. Are you sure that's wise? Are they prepared to cry? A lot. Have tissues on hand. Outer Wilds is Groundhog Day. Changed my mind. It's not Groundhog's Day because it doesn't star Bill Murray. Mind changed. Appreciate a game that values player time. Yeah, that's also important. Because the way it's designed is you need to be optimal. Like, you don't have a lot of time to waste, so they're not going to waste your time. It's going to be intense, but she has been warned. Fair. Oh my god. Spiritfarer is brutally good. It's such a good game. It's also a great example of how video games are just being written to destroy my heart recently. And I'm not thoroughly complaining. We have a few things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about this. We have a couple things. Let me find. Yeah. So, sorry to jump scare you with news, but I did want to talk about this stuff because I was going to talk about it yesterday, but then I didn't stream yesterday. So this is fucking wild. The United States just bombed a ship that was coming out of Venezuela that they're claiming had 11 members of a gang on it that we've declared war on, which is not a thing. Like, we've declared war on a gang, and now we're using that as an excuse to bomb vessels in international waters. What's whack to me about this is I've been seeing in real time the bots come out. This just happened this week, and already there's myriad AI-looking white women with like empty profiles on TikTok commenting in force the same sentiment on every news story about this, saying that this was a good thing, that they're happy that this happened, that now they feel safer, and that liberals who are against this move just like crime. And so it's like, it's very difficult to open up a comment section and see just comment after comment after comment of a bunch of variations of the same like standard looking white woman that was almost definitely a generated profile picture, posting obvious propaganda to manufacture consent for the United States blowing up random boats in international waters in the name of fighting drug trafficking. That's not how any of this works. But like, it's everywhere. It's every thread, every platform has just tons and tons of otherwise vacant accounts that have very obviously fake profile pictures talking about how great this move is. And it's so blatant. It's so blatant. And it's really unfortunate. Like, it's so obvious how much of this is happening. And like, we saw this happen with like getting RFK into the seat that he's in now. All throughout the election, we saw so many bots talking about how RFK is not an anti-vaxxer, and anybody who's saying that doesn't know what they're talking about. You should just listen to what he's saying, and he does all these things, and they just drowned out the people who were saying anything otherwise. You don't need to be right. You don't even need to be like, it doesn't need to be provable if you're just loud enough. People don't go and fact check things. So if you completely flood a comment section with everyone saying the same sentiment, people who are not going to fact check but can still vote are not going to fact check, and then they're going to vote. So it's so obnoxious. It's so painful to be a person who's just trying to be thoughtful, encourage critical thinking, encourage seeking out information, verifying the truth, and then seeing that all you have to actually do is have a bot farm with a bunch of phones posting obviously disprovable statements over and over again, and there you go. Bob is indeed your uncle. This is an insane move in a bad way. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Like, we have sanctioned the absolute hell out of Venezuela. Their economy fell into shambles. Maduro's not a good guy. I'm not out here being like Maduro deserves to be, lauded or whatever. We've done the same thing we always do. We fuck up a country from afar until they're in such a bad state that we say that they are a terrorist state, and then we use that as an excuse to go bomb them and get their oil. Venezuela has a lot of oil that they currently can't sell. Let's see. Venezuela oil reserves, sanctions. Oh, overview of U.S. sanctions policy from Congress.gov. Since 2005, the United States has targeted sanctions on Venezuelan industries and entities that have engaged in criminal, anti-democratic, corrupt actions. So let's see. Visa restrictions, terrorism-related stuff, drug trafficking sanctions. Do we have anything about oil? Do they even say? Yep, okay. Licenses, issues, and resolved. During the Biden administration, they amended licenses to allow certain transactions. Where the hell? I saw oil. Okay. Allowed Chevron to resume oil and gas production in Venezuela, import and export petroleum at joint ventures in Venezuela. Notice that it's not like, Venezuela gets to do that. It's Chevron gets to do that. So essentially what happens is we sanction the hell out of a country. We destroy their ability to self-sustain, and then we label everything they do to try to self-sustain as criminal, and then we do exactly this. So we have now bombed a ship, and the only thing we really have to go off of is Trump's word that this ship had 11 drug dealers, which for some reason allows us to engage militarily and execute foreign nationals in international water. That's not how that works. So it's pretty fucking wild. Thanks for the bits. And then of course, like of those like fake accounts that are pushing that this is a good thing or whatever, I'm seeing people being like, one of the lines they're trying to use is like, we're just protecting democracy and safety, this time internationally. And it's like, is that the line we're going with? Like, not only are Republicans supposed to be against getting involved in new wars, against using our military to police the world, here comes a bot trying to placate people by saying, hey, this is a good thing. We're playing world police. But then that works because hypocrisy doesn't matter and fucking nothing matters. Nothing ever matters. Who's looking forward to Helldivers IRL edition? I know that there was all that speculation that Trump died recently, and then he didn't, which sucks. But anyone who truly believed that he was dead needs to remember that nothing good happens. Were they in international waters or were they in Venezuelan waters? That's a good question. Venezuelan ship attacked. Let me see if there is. Okay, here's a BBC thing. BBC Verify, was the fatal U.S. strike on a Venezuelan quote-unquote drug boat legal? Summary. Experts tell BBC Verify that the U.S. may have broken international law by attacking a boat said to be carrying drugs in the Southern Caribbean, which the White House says killed 11 people. Our team is asking experts for their analytics on what the weapons China has... What? What's that? Okay. This is the one that we care about. Let's see. Let's find the thing about the thing. Oh yeah, this is fucking hilarious. Oh my god. Oh my god. Quick tangent. Shine, I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but that like fast fashion Chinese outlet used AI generated photos of Luigi Mangione as their model for products to buy. Oh my god. Good lord. Yeah, the image in question was removed immediately upon discovery. They are conducting a thorough review and are strengthening our monitoring process. So yeah, they were using AI to generate stock imagery for their clothing or whatever, and they Luigi Mangione. Oh my god. He's a man of many talents. Many talents. Hello, Mello. What's up? Okay. Here we go. Maritime law. The U.S. is not a signatory to the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Sea. The Department of Defense has previously said the U.S. should act in a manner consistent with its provisions. Why does this not surprise me at all? The U.S. is not a signatory to an international treaty about how we should handle international shit. Force can be used to stop a boat generally, but this should be non-lethal measures. They should be reasonable and necessary in self-defense. That's another thing. So another thing that's almost definitely fake that I've been seeing in comment sections that have been trying to, again, manufacture consent for this. I've seen a lot of random accounts claiming to be veterans, claiming to specifically be like naval veterans from this specific region, who are like, it makes me really happy to see that this happened because we've known for a long time that this should be happening. Trust me, I'm a veteran. And then like a bunch of replies to that from other obviously fake accounts saying like, thank you for your service, with like salute emojis and like, haha, see, the veterans support this, so that means it's right. And it's just like the level to which it is an unbelievable degree of like obviously AstroTurf support for going to war with Venezuela over drug cartels. Like, no one wants it. We want fucking healthcare. God damn it. Professor Muffet. Yo, can we get some love in chat for Professor Muffet? Professor Muffet also says the use of force would amount to, quote, extrajudicial... Let's try that again. Professor Muffet also says the use of force could amount to an extrajudicial arbitrary killing and a fundamental violation of human rights. That's how I feel whenever I pass by a poop bin while walking the dog, and then after I'm like a good distance away, that's when he decides to poop. I'm like, dog, this is an extrajudicial arbitrary killing and a fundamental violation of my human rights. Because now I have to turn around and go throw this away. I'm saying this because this happened yesterday. Under Article 2, Section 4 of the UN Charter, countries can resort to force when under attack and are exercising their military in self-defense. But Professor Michael Becker of the Trinity College Dublin told BBC that the US operation, quote, stretches the meaning of the term beyond its breaking point, which is to say, lying. The fact that U.S. officials describe the individuals killed by the U.S. strike as narco-terrorists does not transform them into lawful military targets. And that is the important part. It does not matter. These are citizens of a foreign country. These are not military members. Like, the Trump administration does not have the authority to just state that people in a certain place are terrorists and now valid military targets on the international stage. I mean, functionally, he does. That's what he does. That's what the president of the United States, regardless of who it is not just Trump, they always do that. They say, this is a terrorist group, now we're going to launch a war. But 11 people on a boat? You could have encountered the boat. You could have stopped it, blockaded it, arrested them, tried them, held them in trial to make a big show of it. No, you just murdered people. You just murdered foreign civilians and called it warfare and said that they are a military because they're members of a gang that you claim they're members of. But we have like no proof of that. As well as international law, U.S. domestic law has a role to play here. The U.S. Constitution says that only Congress has the power to declare war. However, Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution says that the president is the commander-in-chief of the army, and some constitutional experts have suggested that this grants the president the power to authorize strikes against military targets, but it's now unclear whether that provision extends to the use of force against non-state actors, such as drug cartels. So it's just like, we're out here doing the world police meme. Like, we're doing the meme, and we're just supposed to just wait and chill until we figure out whether or not we're allowed to do the meme. And this is how things have been just going. With the tariffs, right? Like, the tariffs just got Trump's sweeping tariffs on basically every country got struck down in courts as unconstitutional, and they're still in place. Because his use of the military in Los Angeles was just deemed unconstitutional. What the fuck does it matter now? Like, all of the things that he's doing are being ruled unconstitutional, and they're just like, oh well. Did Professor Muffet sit on their tuffet, eating curds and whey? Your everyday weirdo says, hello chat and Endeavorance. I have returned from working only 2 hours because my manager failed to inform me that I had today off. Yo, you should get an extra 2 hours off now if you worked for 2 hours on your day off. Beast says, I thought the US calls it peacekeeping. It might not for a while longer. There's rumors about the White House wanting to rename the Department of Defense back to the Department of War, which is just like fucking crazy because, again, this is the president who's like, I stopped 7 wars, which he didn't. And the entirety of the right was like, we want to vote for Trump because he's not going to start any wars like the liberals will. And now he's like, I want to change the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And also, we just bombed a boat in the Caribbean. Did they say anything about the people not part of that gang being killed and how many they were? No, they're saying it's the same shit that they're pulling with claiming that cities in America are killing fields. I want to be super fucking clear. The president of our country, verbatim, called Chicago a killing field. They talk about how there's blood in the streets. They went on fucking national television, and Stephen Miller claimed that residents of DC are able to go to the parks for the first time in their life. claiming that people were afraid to go outside until now in Washington, D.C., which is obviously extremely false. It's just complete bullshit. The man should be taken into a bunker and never seen again. Stephen Miller is one of the worst people on this fucking planet, and I pray that we all get to watch him turn into some pink mist at some point. But what they're trying to do now is the same thing that they're doing with the cities, where they're just saying everyone on that boat was a terrorist. It's the same thing they do with Gaza. They claim that everyone in Gaza is a terrorist. Everyone in Gaza supports Hamas, which is obviously not true. But they don't need it to be true. They just need to say it to have pretense to continue doing what they're doing, so that people say things like, oh, well, we got to stop them in court. And they're like, okay, have fun with that. We're going to do it anyway. Like, enjoy going through discovery and setting up a court date and having a trial and coming to a decision, because we're just going to appeal that, take it to the Supreme Court, waste time, continue doing what we're doing. And then the Supreme Court's going to ultimately tell us that it's fine. So, like, we need to not be in a place anymore where it's like, but they can't do that. Oh, we're going to go take them to court. Like, hey, how about, oh, they can't do that. We're going to go physically stop them. I'm getting dangerously close to saying things that'll get me a visit from certain agencies. So I'm going to stop there. Why is our military fighting drugs? Why is our military policing DC and picking up trash? Like, because we don't have anything going on and we have to keep the military in the public eye. Because if people start to realize that we don't need this giant standing military, then we're a little fucked as a country. Didn't he make a rule exempting him from the rules, asked Beast? Yeah, so he got the Supreme Court to state that as long as the president is doing something in an official capacity, he cannot be held like legally liable for it. It's insanity. We need, if we're going to actually have a country within the framework of electoral politics, the next elected administration to undo this needs to have absolutely no hesitation with going after these motherfuckers. Like, the entire Biden administration, Fox News and conservative media in general were telling everybody that the Biden administration was weaponizing the DOJ, going after his opponents, and so on and so forth. Because his opponents did fucking crimes, and then nothing came of it. Like, Merrick Garland did nothing. He didn't go after Trump. He didn't go after any of these people. And now we're here. They're able to just come back and do all of this. Do all of this crime. The last thing that we need is for the next president to come in and be like, no, we're going to turn a new chapter. We're going to just pretend that everything that just happened didn't happen. Fuck no. We need to establish that this country can hold people accountable. We cannot be a nation that is afraid to hold a former administration accountable for crimes. Look at Korea. They just did this. Like, they just had a guy try to do some bullshit and they were like, no. Ugh. Oh, to be a Flynn, unaware of this decade? Yeah. We cannot have a country that says whoever gets elected to the office of the president can do whatever they want and can never be held accountable. And all of his people can't be held accountable. There is not a future in which a Stephen Miller should be allowed to breathe freely. That kind of person should not be in power, let alone accepted in society. Like, there is not a world that we can live in where we say, hey, every opinion is equally valid, and if you don't like their opinion, you should just, you should have voted harder and not allowed them to get into office. Someone with the opinion that we should execute anyone who's not a white person is essentially in control of the military. Stephen Miller is one of the highest level advisors and is basically the one calling the shots on all of this stuff. And he explicitly is a white supremacist. That is not a valid ideology. That is not an ideology that a person with that ideology should not legally have teeth, because they should be legally punched out anytime someone sees that person. So like we desperately need an administration that's going to have some fucking backbone like this one's doing. This administration is using backbone to go after vulnerable people. We need an administration who's going to use backbone to go after the people who are going after the vulnerable people. It's not going to fucking happen, which is why people are like really what's the term? Disillusioned with electoral politics. Which is why I keep saying that we won't vote our way into being saved. Like we need to organize. We need to organize unions and labor. I believe that the way that we get out of this is through strong unions. I believe the way that we get out of the situation that we're in is to return power to the workers such that those who are in a position of ownership no longer feel like they are immortal. That is the problem that we have right now. They think that they are immortal and we are expendable, and they need to be reminded that they are nothing without us and that we outnumber them like 10,000 to 1. It used to be that when workers wanted something and the employers weren't giving it to them, you know what the workers would do? They would kill them. They would beat the shit out of them. They would break their knees. They would set fire to factories. They would throw rocks at windows. They would flip over cars. They would fight against the private cops that were sent in to quell those rebellions that then turned into the normal cops in Pinkertons. That was a thing. But now, in the US at least, if you question why we have a 40-hour work week, when we've proven that productivity has spiked over the past decades, you're just lazy. And it's not the owning class telling you that, it's the working class telling you that, because we've been so thoroughly propagandized that people in the working class police other people in the working class who are asking for more. Because we've convinced everybody that this entire life is a zero-sum game if you're in the working class. And so someone else demanding more threatens you, because if they get more, you get less, even though that's absolutely untrue. So what I believe that we need to have happen is come together, strengthen our workforce, strengthen our unions. When you have strong unions, the possibility of a general strike happens. People who want a general strike right now cannot make that happen. The people who want a general strike, who are like, everyone go to this website and get a strike card, we're going to strike on this day. Stop wasting your fucking time. I am so tired of getting DMs from people being like, you need to push this day, push this one day that we're all going to do a general strike. You have any idea how many of those I've been sent? I am sent a different general strike day multiple times a day. That is not how that works. You don't cause a general strike through social media and trying to make a fucking like card.co website. You need people who have financial infrastructure. You need unions that have options for helping to pay out to their members who are not getting income because they're on strike. You need unions of healthcare workers who can subvert the will of their employers to take care of the patients who would be screwed by a general strike. Like, the employers have options to fight back, and we need unions strong everywhere to have countermeasures before we can do a general strike. None of that can happen until we have that organization. And so that's why what we're doing with electoral politics is trying to get us into a place where the electoral politics side of things is not the biggest inhibitor of otherwise organizing. Like, electoral politics aren't to save us. Voting for someone as a president isn't how we fix this stuff. We want a president that's not going to actively send in the military to quell organizing workers demanding better representation. And I believe that there exists an administration for the US that could be at least not anti-labor, or at least not overtly anti-labor. But that's not where we are right now. We are so far from that. We have the most anti-labor president imaginable instead. And unfortunately, a lot of union workers voted for him because we do not have strong unions currently. We do not have unions that are able to actually throw around their political will like they should, because they are scared. Like, the people at the top of the unions are scared of the government right now, and that cannot be the case. So that I talked about that for longer than I expected. We need to put fear back into the owning class. Yeah, they need to not feel immortal. Daishima VT says, sorry, boss, your broken knees is a pre-existing condition and insurance won't cover it. Very good, and welcome in. Trump is a symptom of a deeply flawed system. Get him out, and another worse one takes his place if all others remain the same. Eventually, yes. Eventually. Trump is absolutely a symptom of a flawed system. Unfortunately, he's more than that, I think. I think it's more than just Trump exists because of the flawed system. I think the flawed system created the scenario for the perfect storm that is Trump to happen. He is a cult of personality. There is not a MAGA without Trump. Like, there's just not. I don't believe there is. Not long term. They worship the ground he walks on. He cannot do wrong. If you look on Truth Social, there's like a post out there that's going viral right now of Trump saying grocery prices are down, gas prices are down, housing prices are down. And all of the replies are like, no, they're not. This is Truth Social. This is people in his cult replying to him saying, that's not accurate. You must be being lied to by the people around you. The conclusion they come to is he's saying something inaccurate. It's not that he's lying to us. It's just that he can't hear us. The people around him are nefarious and lying to him about the state of the economy. And he's just none the wiser. And so we need to find a way to get this information to him, because clearly, if he knew the reality, he would fix it and not just continue to lie. Because it's a cult. Like, they're not saying like, hey, I voted for you, but you're screwing us over right now. They're saying, I voted for you and you can do no wrong, so this must be somebody else's fault. Despite it literally coming from him on his social network directly. I remember when, like, right after Trump won the election, I made a video in which I was like, so a cult just won the presidency and all houses of government. And someone in my comments was like, oh, you're calling it a cult? Fucking, this is why people hate liberals. It's like, bro, it's not an exaggeration. It's like calling them Nazis. It's not an exaggeration. It just is what it is. Sleepless Serafina says, if left politicians could leverage class warfare, they might actually do well. But they don't. But they don't want to go all in on class warfare because they might, quote, lose funding or some shit. Here's the thing, though. Like, look at like Zoran Mamdani, right? He's pulling in voters from across the spectrum. He has support from Republicans. It's the machines are afraid to do something different. But the machines are also rusted to all hell. So that's why you've got the fucking Democrat establishment who has Chuck fucking Schumer as their leader right now, and Hakeem Jeffries, who can't even endorse Mamdani because he's such a bitch of AIPAC. So, like, he refuses to endorse Mamdani, who's one of the most popular candidates the Democrat Party has ever seen. And he's like, well, I just don't know him very well, and so I can't really endorse him right now. And they're afraid to do anything different because they want to continue. They want to continue the world that they have known. The Democrats have known a world of put in the work and you'll get yours. And the work just means being around, towing the party line, and doing what Nancy Pelosi says. And as long as you do those things, you'll get rewarded. And they want that to continue to be the case. But it's just not the case. It's falling apart because people don't want the same anymore. We want different. and they don't know how to handle different because they've already made all these promises to all their vested interests. So they can't do different. And so they're just screwed and stuck, which is why I say it's rusted in place. We need fundamental change. We don't need fear in the owning class. We need to get rid of the owning class completely. I mean, yes, obviously. Like, ideally, we wouldn't have an owning class, but that's one step at a time. To be fair, there was already the Luigi situation and the Blackhawk CEO that got iced the fuck out. So hopefully we'll see a trend. Hopefully it'll continue to trend upwards. Hopefully. We need to start sacrificing the ultra rich to the old gods again. Bring about another Ocean Gate. Oh, that would be very, very good. Catching up on chat. I think I'm going to switch over to playing a game soon because I feel my blood pressure rising. I can feel it. Can we nuke APAC? Sorry, that's anti-Semitic. God damn it. Mello says, I feel like one of the few things that can weaken Trump is the Epstein victims. So many of his base wanted that list released. One of the victims said something about compiling their own list today during the press conference, and I'm rooting for them so hard. I truly do not think it's going to matter. I hope that I'm wrong. I'm not trying to be a doomer. I desperately hope that I am wrong. I feel like I have seen so many cases where I was like, this is surely Trump supporters aren't going to be this dumb, and then they were that dumb. Given that I have seen, like I just said, that post where he was like, oh, prices are down across the board. And then all the comments were like, they're not down across the board, but obviously you're not lying to us because you would never do that. So clearly someone's lying to you and confusing you. And that's why you're saying that. So I thoroughly believe that even if the actual, like, canonical Epstein files were released, and the Epstein files consisted of a single document that said Donald Trump is the list, and then that was like validated by God himself, I still truly believe that a significant, maybe 90% proportion of MAGA would just say that's a lie. They would just say fake news, or they wouldn't care. I don't think that there is a thing that they could be told that would change their opinion of Trump, because it's just that's not how cults work. That's not how changing your mind works. If they could be told something and have their mind changed, that would have happened by now. If they could be told, yeah, Trump went on TV and said they're eating the dogs, and that's a complete lie, they could have changed their mind, and they didn't. Instead, they just said, no, he didn't say that. Or if he did say that, then it must be true. So I don't know. I don't see how it goes away aside from him dying. And when he's dead, I don't know who could possibly take over the throne. There doesn't exist a Republican who's not a fucking weirdo. And that includes Trump, but for some reason, Trump forged a cult around him because he had that pre-existing air from having a reality TV show. A bunch of people watched him on a reality TV show, thought he was a powerful, smart, rich man, and then they were like, I want that guy to represent me. JD Vance does not have that. Marco Rubio does not have that. Ron DeSantis does not have that. I don't know who could possibly have that. He had a reality TV show, says Lupus Music. Yes, that is precisely why he is president right now, is because he had a reality TV show. And like, oh my God, it makes me so intensely angry that Donald J. Trump is the president of our country again. I have spent my entire life knowing that he's a con man. He's from New York City. Everyone in New York City knows he's a con man. Everyone fucking hates him. Everyone knows he bankrupted casinos and destroyed Atlantic City, which he tried to turn into his own Vegas, but it's Trump doing it. So now it's just a wasteland. Like, we have all known this, but then he had, because he was a failed businessman, they were like, hey, we're just going to use you as a prop in a reality TV show. And so he had a reality TV show called The Apprentice, where the concept was you would do business things and Trump would either fire you or keep you on, I guess. And so that's where he got that classic, like, "you're fired" line, because, like, instead of voting someone off the island, it was he would fire somebody. So he'd be like, "You're fired." And people loved it. They ate it up. And so there's a whole bunch of MAGA voters out there who quite literally just loved that there is this old white man angrily telling people that they're not good enough. That's why he's president. That is why he is president. Enough people saw him on TV telling people that they're bad, and they're like, haha, I like this. The producers of that show themselves have apologized for their role in making Trump president. Because they're like they are loudly like, the dude's a fucking idiot. Like they were like snickering over how much of a loser he was while they were producing the show. They talked about going to meet him in his office and how it just reeked of piss. And it was so ugly that they had to like bring in set designers to make it look like he was a respectable person. So like, it's all dumb. It's all dumb all the way through. We've known it's been dumb. It has never not been dumb. And it's crazy to me that people are like, yeah, Donald Trump is my guy. Like, let's ignore everything that we've known about how much of a piece of shit he is. Your skin tone is showing your blood pressure, just a heads up. Is it? I look pale as fuck. I always look pale as fuck. Even the wiki page tells of his failures. Mello says, God, that show was dumb. Oh, our music stopped. Let's get some tavern vibes. I didn't know our music stopped because I don't have audio today for some reason. Tavern vibes. The deal was that they had to impress him and they'd get a job with him if they won. Yeah. No. Back in his first term, the cafe on my college campus would play Fox News on the single TV. If they had the single TV they had, because the manager wanted to watch it, and I made a point to always turn off the TV when I was in the cafe or put cartoons on, because fuck that shit. You're as red as your hair. Am I? I'm looking at my preview. I look. Okay, I don't know. I don't believe you. Cheeks are a bit redder. I mean, I've also been talking nonstop for like an hour and 34 minutes. So maybe I should take a quick break to go pee in a toilet and then go play a video game or something. Yeah. You do look a bit red. I mean, I'm a fucking white redhead. If I have even a slight blood in my body, I look red. The only reason I watched the movie they made on Trump was because of Sebastian Stan, his Everyday Weirdo. I've been wanting to maybe watch that, but I don't think that I can deal with even an impersonation of him at this point. I would be perfectly happy just never hearing this man again. Just never. I love Sebastian Stan. I would be perfectly fine just not hearing this guy talk ever again. And not hearing anyone impersonate him ever again. Not hearing anybody like talk or like write in his cadence ever again. I'd be perfectly happy never hearing make blank great again ever again. It's been 10 fucking years of this. It has been since 2015 that this man has been on every fucking TV, on every website, mentioned in every comment section. This is not the life I wanted. I didn't want a life that was entirely controlled by a failed businessman, well-known con man, former reality TV show star, and focal point
Sounds
of
like
Home Alone 2.
propaganda to me.
That is not where I thought we would have been. I only watch it for Sebastian Stan because that man is fine. I cannot disagree with you. He is
That's rough,
fine
buddy.
as hell. Thunderbolts is really good. Yeah, I just still need to watch Thunderbolts, honestly. Thunderbolts is genuinely really good. It's really, really good. It's Marvel forgot that they're able to tell a good story, and then they made Thunderbolts, and they're like, oh, that's how you do it. Anyway, let's just go back to bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna go pee in a toilet, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna play some Stardew Valley maybe for a bit. I'm gonna grab a snack. It's gonna be good. Don't go anywhere, because I'll cry. Okay? BRB. Beef. Y'all want to play some Stardew Valley? Sound good? Trying to play some
Beef.
Stardew. How to confirm that your chat is made up of children? Eat a meat stick. Ate a sausage looking straight into the camera the entire time, but stuff still happened. Beef. What can I say? What can I say? Well, I'll tell you what I can say. What I can say is play some Stardew Valley. Steam. Edit stream. Let's see. What's the title of the stream gonna be? Let's say, I swear I will actually build a barn this time. That is my goal, is build a barn. Because I keep wanting to do that, and I keep not doing that, because I'm the worst. So let's make that happen. Okay. I missed the chatting part. Wait. Who's chatting? Why are we chatting? Focus. Game. I think that should do it. Yes. Okay. Load. I need to be further. Which way do I need to be I need to be, no, I need to be this way? I need to be this way to be centered. Okay. Good. Oh, I don't have sound still, so I'm gonna do my best to not get killed by, I can't hear footsteps. Like, if there's gonna be an enemy coming around a corner, I can't hear footsteps. So I might get one-tapped, we'll see. God, what if Stardew Valley had guns? Wait, what is this? I forgot about the whole, like, clothes. I forgot there's fashions in this game now. I had no idea that you could put fashions into the dresser. That's new to me. Apparently you can put clothes in places. I want to pet my fucking cat. Okay, I just wanted to pet my cat. First I went to go pet the cat, and I opened up a dresser. Then I went to go pet the cat, and I looked at the TV. And I just wanted to pet my cat. Clear and sunny all day. No, don't pick up the TV. Fortune teller. What do we got? Oh, sorry. Pausing the music. My bad. We had music and game music going at the same time. My bad. Whoo! I see a glimmer within my scrying orb. A shard of knowledge from the future. The spirits are in good humor today. Think you'll have a little extra luck. Okay, that's good to know. It is raining, which is also good. Let's go take care of our animes, and then we're going to go get the barn. And then we're gonna go to we're gonna go mine. Okay. One thing at a time. First things first, chimkins. That's a lot of eggins. Y'all got a lot of eggs going on. God damn. Alright, put that there. Oh, another one. There. Okay. What am I doing? I need the stuff for the... Oh, lightning. Woo, spooky. I need stone and wood, and then I believe I have the money for it. Stone, wood. Oh, please tell me I've got the materials. I have to have the material. Come on now. I think I have enough. Let's find out. I'm gonna swing through Pierre's and sell some stuff. Yeah. A bunch of eggs in this economy? You're rich. It would be really funny. Oh my god. There has to be a mod. Maybe this doesn't exist. It would be amazing if there was a Stardew Valley mod that... Oh, I can't sell stuff yet. That, hooked into, like, goods markets. Like, the actual market data. And modulated in-game pricing based on that. Like, imagine if it's like, oh, yo, y'all in on that egg meta right now? Like, the Stardew Valley egg meta? It's so good. People start, like, manipulating real-world markets to get better stats in Stardew Valley. It's locked. The custom stuff is so fucked. Endangered plants coming my way are probably going to be dead. Yeah, I had to pay customs on a thing that I don't know if it's been delivered. If it was, I need to go grab it because I don't want it to get swiped. Does not appear to have been delivered. So I had to pay tariffs on a thing that's coming in today. It's fucking dumb. But here's something extra wild. So I mentioned earlier that the Trump tariffs were like struck down in a court. If that's upheld, like they're going to appeal it. But if it's upheld and the Supreme Court says, yeah, he can't do this, which is probably not going to happen. But if they do, the US has to pay back all of the tariffs. All of the money collected from those tariffs, if they are found to be unconstitutional, have to be returned. Which is why markets are crashing now. Like a bunch of, like all the bond markets and stuff, like everything is just like fucked right now. Because if we do have to pay back these tariffs, that's going to be a lot of lost income and extra effort. Like we will be still paying for the tariffs, but paying by way of losing on the money to pay back the tariffs. It's out of control. I'm poor. I'm too poor. And I don't have enough stone. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. I'm too poor. Too poor to afford a barn. Okay, well I need more stone and I need more money. But I've got a whole bunch of wood on my person right now. So I'm gonna use that to repair that bridge in the beach. That'll be good. Meanwhile, the yen has gotten stronger over the past few weeks. Yeah, so something to pay attention to right now is China is really making moves on just like positioning themselves as the replacement world leader for the US in terms of economy. Like China's loving this, right? China is fucking loving this because they're totally fine with however much Trump wants to destroy the US's standing on the global stage. And so like China, Russia, and India just had sort of like a joint meeting that was essentially just a big photo op for them to all be like, hey, rest of the world, we are three economic superpowers who aren't currently throwing a shit fit. Like, it's not like Xi Jinping is a good person, right? It's not like Xi Jinping is the ideal leader. And also, Trump is a fucking mess by comparison. Like, he's not stupid. Yeah, but he sure as hell isn't fucking stupid. He's a terrible, evil man who is smart and knows what he's doing and knows how to run the country he wants to run. Like, that is accurate, I believe. I'm not an expert, so somebody could easily correct me if you're more tuned into the goings-ons of Xi Jinping and his surroundings. But, like, Trump is just a moron. Trump is a moron with control of everything. Xi Jinping is a smart guy with control of everything. Got an old amulet to sell, but something tells me you're not ready for it, lad. Damn. I fucking suck. Is the Xi Jinping equals Winnie the Pooh meme still a thing? I'm not sure if it was... I don't actually know if it was ever truly a thing, or if that was just, like, kind of propaganda. I'm really cautious, and I encourage people in general to be cautious about what you hear about China. Think about... My nose is so itchy today. Think about the social credit score thing, right? Man just called me single. Yeah, I'm single as fuck in this game right now. I need to romance somebody. What was I saying? Think about the social credit score thing. Y'all remember this? Like, in the US especially, there was a firestorm of media about Chinese, or the Chinese government rolling out the social credit score system, which was supposed to be, according to Western media, it was like you would be tracked everywhere you go and everything you do, and if you do anything that the government doesn't like, then they dock points off of some score, and if your score gets low enough, you get like evicted and like shunned from society, shit like that. First of all, that's a credit score. That's what a credit score is. It's just not done through cameras, it's done through transactions. Second, that's not what that is. Yeah, that's pure propaganda. The social credit system exists and is so much more boring than it ever could have been otherwise. Like, it is quite literally just like it's closer to getting points on your driver's license. Like, you know how if you get like a traffic violation in the US, you like accrue points, and if you get too many points, you like lose your license? It's closer to that. You do bad shit, you get in trouble a little bit. We have so many worse systems than that. There is currently a private company that sells, if anybody has seen those like weird surveillance poles pop up recently, that are just like a pole with cameras and like a solar panel or something. That's a private company contracting to municipalities to quite literally use AI cameras to scan everything that everyone in the vicinity is doing and track them in a centralized database. It literally does facial scanning and license plate scanning, so that if you drive past one of them, they now know where you are. They're literally tracking you everywhere. And this is just a thing. But it's done by a private company, so apparently that's okay. I need stone and money. That's my top focuses right now are stone and money. So let's go do, what did I say I was going to do? I was going to go to the mines. Let's go to the mines. Do I have food? No? Can I make food? No? Oh, wait, can't I do, like, bug snacks? Yeah, bug steak. Perfect. Bug snacks. Let's bring a torch. Do I have cherry bombs anywhere? Where's all my shit? Is this my... Do I have a... I do not. Okay, well, here. Let's get these pickled. I remember last time my plan was to make a chest at the top of the dungeon to hold all of my, like, mining stuff. I don't think I did that. Let's take one and do that. The United States actually does most of the things it accuses China of doing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What I was trying to get at with that whole line of thinking was, like, don't believe things that the US tells you about China. They are our #1 competitor. There is no reason for any representative of the United States to not lie to you about China. And it's truly mind-boggling how different China is from what the average American believes China is. It's mind-boggling. We are convinced that we are like the most advanced, incredible nation in the world, with like the most like happiest population or whatever. Nope. China's got plenty of problems. Plenty of problems. But the US has a lot too. Whew. Okay. Mining time. Ooh, I'm getting close to level 40, which I believe is a thing? Yes. It's a goal of mine. Very happily Canadian right now. Canada definitely has their own problems. I would say that the recent election has not, unfortunately, brought the country in the direction that I feel like people were hoping that it would. But, you know, that's what liberals do, is disappoint. And, I mean, Canada does have a lot of problems with, like, housing prices and shit like that, but it's a completely different ballgame. It's just completely different. I don't think people understand, especially from other countries that maybe have,
look who
like,
just subscribed.
You know, similar bullshit. Like, the UK has got a lot of bullshit going on right now. Australia has some bullshit going on. But I don't think that people from most places realize that there's also just The ambient backdrop of I could be shot today when you live in America. Like, I don't know if it's normal for people in other countries to keep tabs on points of egress in case a mass shooting breaks out at any time, anywhere, all the time. I have moments before I go to any large like audience event where I'm like, this could be my last night alive. Like, this is very obviously a target, you know? It is normal for crews of actual snipers to be positioned on the roofs of stadiums at sporting events. That's normal. Like, there's just an ambient sense of dread that you just have as an American, and it's I don't have a way to tell what kind of an effect it has on like me or, you know, the average person, because I've never really experienced a life outside of that. And I think I see a lot of people who like move to Europe or whatever, and they're just like, I can't believe how different it is to just not be afraid of like all of these different things, not be worried about like, how am I going to be able to get time off if I'm sick? How am I going to, you know, take care of my family because I can't take time off of work or what have you? Let's keep going. I'm assuming it wants me to go even deeper now. To the bottom? Okay. What did I get? Slingshot? Useless. That's part of the reason that the depression part of my brain doesn't see the point of emigrating. It feels like every country is on the same trajectory. The US just happens to take the lead. I don't think that there's a... I don't think that other countries are as fucked as we are, and I don't think that other countries are on the same trajectory necessarily. Far-right populism is absolutely on the rise worldwide. But far-right populism in the States can directly turn into what we've got now. But, like, there's actual regulation and shit in other countries. We don't have that. We don't have regulation. We don't have a government or a system in place that actually checks itself and does anything to stop horrific shit from happening to citizens. Because, like, meanwhile, other countries, there are countries that are passing laws that give you the copyright to your own image to help push back against AI systems that are training on just, like, photos of you. Like, they're saying, like, you, as a human being, should have the exclusive rights to your own image. That sounds pretty fucking reasonable, right? That would never happen in the States. Not in a million years. We don't have the political will to establish regulation of that type. Like, we don't have the political will to actually use the force of the state to make things better for citizens and not corporations. It's such a different world here. The fact that corporations are as equivalent as people is all you really need to know in terms of, like, political speech. And corporations are actually valued more than people, because speech is valued by wealth in the States. Oh my god, die. So I'm not saying that it's not getting bad elsewhere. It's not a competition. There's so much about living in the States that is ambiently awful. And it's so obvious the second you step out of this country. In Stardew, hitting cave bats can make stairs. Yeah, we use, like, really special logic here. Killing any enemy has a small chance of creating the stairwell down. And for some reason, that includes bats. You can hit a bat with a bat, and the stairs happen. Knowledge is power, and they've been actively defunding schools. Yeah. They want to keep us dumb. Mostly they want to keep people too poor to be able to travel to see that there's a much better quality of life outside of this country. For all your gun-toting, you Americans are pretty soft, and people... Sorry, I will say this. For all of your gun-toting, your Americans are pretty soft, and people that would do anything to maintain their comfort. Yes, absolutely. it's like people are asking like, oh, where's all the Second Amendment people? Where's all my guns rights people in the face of this government tyranny? Those people don't want that. Like they don't want guns to go against government tyranny. They want guns to shoot the people they don't like, which is like liberals and black people, right? Which is why like all the people who are like, yeah, Second Amendment, you can't infringe on my guns, are turning around and being like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, they can like send the military into the cities. Like they can be an oppressive state. We don't need to rise up against them. I will say there is something to be said about the fact that our military is better funded. Sorry, our police force is better funded and more militarized than most countries' armies. So like, it's not a 1-to-1 with protesting. The risk of protesting in America is you will almost certainly get killed if you try to do anything beyond hold a sign. If you start throwing a brick or something, we have established as a country that we allow our cops to just become judge, jury, and executioner the second that someone picks up a brick. That is then considered a deadly weapon, and they are allowed to use force as much as they want to do whatever they want and get away scot-free. They have military vehicles. They have those fucking lasers that shoot microwaves to make it feel like your body is boiling. They will shoot less than lethal ammunition pretty much immediately. Like, I know that people in America are too comfortable to protest. The issue is that we're not hungry enough, we're not desperate enough, and so people aren't in the streets. The second people get hungry enough and desperate enough, heads will roll. That is how humans work. Like, no time ever in human history has an administration made their people go hungry and kept their head. That is just not how it works. But to rise up right now is virtually impossible in this country. Again, as I said at the outset of the stream, like the way that we fix this is by strengthening unions so that we can have a general strike. Like, we can't go on strike functionally right now.
We are being raided.
And get the results that we're hoping for because there's not enough people, there's not enough will, and America is fucking gargantuan. This country is so big, and there's so much space in between major city centers. And things happening in a major city center have very little impact on what happens in a rural area near that city center. So it's like you need uniform. Oh, we're getting raided. Hello, Grim Exodus, and everybody who's raiding. And thank you for the sub, Ash on the floor. Sorry that I missed that 8 minutes ago. You need uniform, unilateral, simultaneous uprising that is somehow planned to happen all at the same time, while there are then safety nets in place. Like we don't have any social safety nets. We don't. They're trying to take away the ability to get food. They're trying to take away the ability to get medicine. People in this country don't have any sort of money to spend on not working. So like, I would love to see people protest more significantly. I absolutely agree with the sentiment that people are too comfortable to really take action right now. I disagree that it's that simple. Okay. I'm getting ever closer to being able to actually have fucking sprinklers, and I cannot wait. All right, this is now my mining box. Get this fish out of here.
Hello.
This is my mining box, and then I want I want like a secondary like misc bullshit box. This is some misc bullshit. All right, put this over yon. This goes in here. That's mining. That's mining stuff. That's mining. Slime is mining. Where's my stone? Like monster parts, minerals, all that kind of jazz. Geodes, quartz, earth crystal, copper ore, mushi? No. Bug meat. Hello, Coco Annie. What's up? I like your fishies. Put all that away. Very good. All right, I'm going to donate this fucking thing to Gunther. and water my plants. And get a barn. Oh, wait, can I do it? I can. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, let's get that stuff in my inventory. I can finally afford a fucking barn. Call me Coco, I'm from Grimstream. Well, hello, hello. Welcome in. How far into Stardew are you? I was about to restart it. I mean, like, this is I'm on summer of the first year. I'm barely playing this game, honestly. This is more of a, like, give me a thing to focus on while otherwise yapping on stream kind of experience. So, like, I really haven't been focusing on actual progression. So, hoping I actually get a barn today if I remember to do that in the next 5 minutes. Did you see the WAPO report on whistleblower leaks from the Heritage Foundation that show that they want to economically cripple America in a way? I mean, like, that's... I want to not be cynical. Like, I want to not be cynical about this because, like, what you just said is it should be meaningful. I don't see why it matters. Like, an expose about a whistleblower from the Heritage Foundation saying that the Heritage Foundation is trying to do evil shit. It's not like we don't know that the Heritage Foundation is overtly evil and one of the biggest problems with this entire nation. So it's like, maybe that'll hopefully lead to something. For one, they're not going to face any repercussions at all whatsoever under the Trump admin. So, like, but these are the kind of things where it's, I appreciate that people care. I appreciate that we're, like, disseminating this information. It's not like that's a waste of ink or a waste of an article or anything like that. At the same time, we're so far beyond it, right? Like, we're so far past what a whistleblower from the Heritage Foundation has to say about what they're doing. People are dying. Like, people are being kicked off their Medicare. Hospitals are shutting down. Like, this is the stuff that I wish people cared about 20 years ago. Caring about it now doesn't fix anything. Not really an expose, more of an explanation for why the regime is acting the way it's acting. Yeah, I mean, it's Project 2025, right? Like, it's the same with that. I had people throughout the entire election, like, begging me to talk, not begging me, but, like, asking me to talk about Project 2025, which was, like, ubiquitous, but also, again, I don't know how to even begin combating a thing where it's like, one side says, hey, here is all of the evidence and information that you need to understand why this is really dangerous. And the other side says, nah-uh. And then the people who agree with the nah-uh side are like, well, they said nah-uh, so I gotta trust them because you have a vested interest against them. So I can't trust you. And now we have Project 2025. Like, they said the whole time, like, oh, that's not us. We don't know what that is. I don't know what Project 2025 is. And then the second that they fucking won the presidency, they were like, oh yeah, no, we were lying the whole time. We're absolutely going to do Project 2025. It doesn't matter. It's just lies. It's literally just lies. And it's lies, like, intentionally. It's not lies like, ooh, we got caught. It's lies like, yeah, that worked. And we're going to do it again. Like, these people are straight up evil. They don't respect you, and they're not playing by any rules. And then they get mad when you call them out for not playing by the rules. And if you also don't play by the rules, they call you bad. Despite being the ones that don't play the rules. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-numbing at this point. Okay, barn. I need a barn. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting a barn. We need infrastructure in order to change things. We need infrastructure. Our infrastructure is so fucking bad. Beyond just like financial infrastructure, y'all see about how the new Amtrak trains are slower than the old Amtrak trains? They just rolled out on Amtrak, which is like the closest thing that the US has to a rail system that doesn't completely not function. Amtrak rolled out new high-speed trains that are slower than the old high-speed trains. Meanwhile, Japan has a fucking maglev train that goes like 350 miles an hour. But our new trains go slower than the old one. are new high-speed trains. It's not even a new non-high-speed train. It's billed as a high-speed train. I'm really doing nothing to help with my stress levels and blood pressure with this entire stream today. Just not at all. Do I want my cows and my chickens to hang out together? Let's put the cows, like, here. Yeah. I'm gonna need to build a little new fence around it, but let's do that. Let's do that. The amount of damage done to our infrastructure is indescribable. We also just, like, don't have good things. Like, we just don't have nice things. Our airports are disastrous. It is embarrassing to fly back to America from another country. Like, fucking Heathrow. Heathrow is not a particularly upscale experience, but Heathrow's bathroom doors are attached generally. And the bathrooms are generally kind of clean. And then I land back in the US. I could not find a bathroom that had both an attached door and not clogged full of overflowing shit. It's embarrassing. Y'all know that y'all ever see the that airport in what, Singapore? Singapore airport? I think it's yeah. Look at this shit. Whenever it loads. Look at this shit. This is an airport. This is an airport. What in the This is an airport. My airport, like, has multiple food courts that are shut down because of, like, health violations. There's an airport in Washington, D.C. that for the longest time didn't have enough terminals, so they just made one terminal be considered multiple terminals, or sorry, gates. They made one gate considered multiple gates, and the way it worked is you just, like, went out onto a bus that drove you onto the tarmac to the plane that you're getting on. In the capital of our nation, in the same airport that a passenger airline got hit by a military helicopter and blew up and everybody died. So, you know, that's infrastructure in America. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel proud about this country. Like, I don't know what they expect me to feel pride in. Like, literally what? Like, literally what am I supposed to feel prideful about with this country? I'm always, like, the answer that I usually see with that is, like, our beautiful lands. And it's like, I don't feel pride in that. I feel appreciative to live in a place that has a lot of beautiful lands. I'm not prideful because these aren't my fucking lands. We stole them from the indigenous people. What that's not pride. What about the like function of the state? What about our government and our culture am I supposed to feel pride about? I've been ranting a lot today. I want to acknowledge that. I feel a little toxic today. I've been rambling and ranting very negatively pretty much this whole time. And I really want to be clear that I don't want to make everybody else feel stressed. That's not my goal. I am just tired of bullshit. And there's so much of it. Did you know that South Korea has elevators where if you accidentally press the wrong floor, you can click the button to not go to the wrong floor? Fucking magic. That is magic. That is truly magic. I'm also angry too. It's okay. Better than keeping it all in. Fair. I don't want to, this man has already talked about far too much. Like, Trump has already talked about way too much. And the bullshit state of this country is talked about a lot. And I think it's really important to remind ourselves that we're allowed to like think about other things. Right? Like it's okay to not be 100% focused on how shitty everything is all the time. That is how you get yourself into an early grave and like drive yourself into complete depression. And like, oh dear. Oh dear, fishy. That's way up there. Like I have major depression, right? Like I have like clinical depression. I take medication for it. It helps. I definitely go through rough patches, and it's definitely been extra hard recently because of all the bullshit that I'm supposed to just like take in stride while already struggling to see why life is worth living. And I work really, really hard to consistently remind myself why life is worth living and why I should push back on those like really negative thoughts and like how things could be so much better. You can't get consistently upset about the delta between where things are and where you want them to be, because it's a recipe for failure. It's a recipe for anger, because you're not going to be able, you can't snap your fingers and make the world match the vision that you wish it was. You're only going to consistently upset yourself by re-acknowledging that things are still bad, even if things haven't gotten necessarily worse. And they've gotten worse, for sure. But like, it's important to not just sit around and be like, how am I going to be upset about everything today? Remember that it's okay to like look at a tree and appreciate that. Like, remember it's okay to look at things and be like, this is amazing. This is incredible. Like, you don't need to find the negativity in it. You don't need to find the reason why you're not allowed to like it. You don't need to find the reason why it's unacceptable to like something. You're allowed to like stuff, and you're allowed to just like enjoy life here and there. And that's really, really important. And that's something, I mean, I'm saying this as much for myself as I am for everybody else. Like, I struggle quite a lot with, like, I'm building a tabletop role-playing game, which doesn't seem like the most, like, effective anti-fascist thing I could be doing. But I need to consistently remind myself that it's not my job to fix the entire world. And I believe that something I can do to make the world a little better is build something that brings people some joy. And, like, maybe that's conceited of me. Maybe that's me coming up with an excuse to not have to do other more, you know, uncomfortable or dangerous things, sure. But also, I would like to live. I would like to spend time with the people that I care about. I want to have a life. So, trying to make sure that I'm giving myself space to focus on those parts of my life as well. It's just... there's also a lot of bullshit. A lot of it. And this fucking fish is... get in my pocket. Come on now. Oh, my lord. Get in my pocket. No. No! No! That's the opposite direction of my pocket! So unwieldy. Oh, oh. Oh, come on now. You'll find that my will is equal to yours. That super cucumber! What's up? Oh, that gold star super cucumber. Sometimes you just need to go sit on a rock and enjoy nature, but also sometimes touching grass is not enough. And we need horrible things to happen to powerful people. Both can be true. I would love for more horrible things to happen to more powerful people. I'm kind of tired of that not happening. I feel like just a few more instances of like world leaders feeling mortal would be pretty good. I'm realizing that it's very hard to read chat while doing fishing in Stardew Valley. That's a challenge. I do like sitting on a rock and looking at a river, though. That's good shit. The future feels like it's already doomed, especially with ecological disasters getting exponentially bigger and worse. I understand, agree, and share in that anxiety. I don't think I can let myself lose all hope in that regard. I don't know what that's going to do for me. You know? Like, I don't know if that's going to be the best way for me to live my life. I think that it's helpful to remember that there are really intelligent people working on really cool shit, and that humanity has done some really amazing things. I know we've done a lot of really bad things, and I know that we've really fucked this planet, and I don't know what the chance of us being able to come back from this is. It's probably 0. But I really want to hope that we can figure something out. For all we know, 20 years down the line, 30 years down the line, we make some kind of discovery that does let us essentially reverse climate change. Who knows? We would need some funding for that. Hopefully we can get there. But we'll see. That said, like a lot of what we're doing right now is not really helping anything. Like carbon capture isn't really a thing. What we really need to be doing right now is like environmental protection investment. Because hey, it turns out trees and algae and grass and like plankton and shit is pretty good at sucking up carbon. We just don't have a lot of it. It's just going away. Yeah, like oceans are really, really good at absorbing carbon if they're healthy. We just need to not stop. We need to stop destroying them so they can be healthy, so they can help balance out the carbon in the atmosphere. There's always a distinct possibility that a solar flare could knock out all communications and electrical grids. Yeah, I mean, the sun could also explode. It's that I hate talking about this guy. I hate fucking quoting him. But there is that Trump quote of like, what if a bomb dropped on your head? Like, yeah. Ooh. How do I get? Okay, wood fence. Regular ass wood fence. And a wood gate. Okay. Boop. No. No, that's not where I wanted to put the fence. Be gone, fence. This is so finicky. I gotta make sure this tree. They gotta have the tree in their plot. What is that? God damn it! I can't even see. It's too dark. I'm basically a contractor. Like, I'm basically a fencing company, if you think about it. Look at this beautiful work. All right, I can't see shit. I'm going to go to bed so I can see what's going on. But I think I'm probably going to wrap it up. I'm just carrying a tuna. Hey, cat, do you want this tuna? It's a very real possibility that we're not prepared for. Okay, what? Oh, what is that? What are you? Okay, well, I destroyed you, whatever you are. Whoops. And then I need to break this at some point. But I can't do that because I'm too weak. I'm so weak. Well, I'm going to stop it there. Ugh. That's how you get fishy dreams. By bringing a tuna into bed with you. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Y'all catching this? You seeing this? Are we seeing this? Oh, look at the snoot. Oh. Oh, he dreaming. Oh, he dreaming. My goodness. What a sweet boy. I'm gonna give him a little bit of love. A little bit of love. Hold on one second. He's a good dog. He's a good dog. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Thank you all so much for listening to my wild rants all this entire stream. I maybe I'll be a little more upbeat next time. But I am gonna be streaming tomorrow, assuming that everything goes fine. Hopefully I sleep normal tonight. So I'm going to be back tomorrow, same time. My normal schedule is
Hey,
Tuesdays and
time for a
Thursdays
drink.
at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern, but I pushed yesterday, so doing tomorrow still. I can hydrate. Thank you. I'm going to head out. Take care. Be well. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.